doubt these stories was going to take up the majority of our time, but we do have enough to get into one story. So, unfortunately, the Proud Boys being found guilty will be sometime next week.
They've already been found guilty, right?
They have been found guilty.
They haven't been sentenced. You're talking about the sentence.
Yeah, hopefully by that time I would have what the sentence is.
Life in prison would be fabulous, but I'm not holding out no hope.
I'm pretty sure that the ones that they got ain't coming out. No. Maybe number 5.
He
might get to come home
out. 5. The 5th one wasn't found guilty on the same thing.
But no, he was not found guilty on that one charge.
Yeah,
they got him on other stuff.
Yeah,
so he's going in.
Oh no. Oh, okay. Yes, yeah. I ain't saying
he's the one that turned evidence, right? He's the one that turned.
I don't know. I suspect, but I don't know. But what I do know is everywhere I've watched on the news, on Facebook, they show the picture of the 5 people.
Hold that for a second.
Oh, you about to do it, ain't you?
Nope. Since we're already on the subject, then we're gonna skip Clarence Thomas and Jenny Thomas, cause Lord knows by next week I'll probably have yet another allegation in a freaking way on them. So might as well have a 2.
Nah, do your thing, bro. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Since we're already on the subject, let's go ahead and talk about the Proud Boys being found guilty.
We have some breaking news out of Washington, D.C. At least 4 members of the far-right organization, the Proud Boys, were found guilty of seditious conspiracy in connection with the January 6th insurrection. The jury remains split on whether a 5th member of that group is also guilty of that charge, and will continue to deliberate on that. NBC News Justice and Intelligence correspondent Ken Delanian joins me now. Ken, this trial has been unfolding over, 4 months now? There are 5 defendants, and I know this is a mixed bag in terms of the verdicts here. What should we know about this partial verdict?
Well, it's not much of a mixed bag, Kate. The prosecution won significant victories, significant felony convictions against all 5 defendants. The jury is struggling with a couple of the lesser counts and that one count of seditious conspiracy on one defendant. But they got 4 defendants convicted of seditious conspiracy, including Enrique Tarrio, the leader of the Proud Boys, who wasn't actually present during the Capitol insurrection. So that was a pretty substantial victory by the Justice Department here in what was really viewed as the most significant of the January 6th cases so far. This is a sprawling investigation. More than 1,000 people have been arrested. But this was a big one. Prosecutors very happy with this result today.
Can we dig in a little bit into this seditious conspiracy charge? You mentioned how serious it is. So what does it mean that these 4 men at least are convicted of that? And how often does that happen?
This is a charge that's rarely used, Kate, and there was a lot of debate about whether it was wise for prosecutors to even try to bring these charges in these Capitol riot cases. Essentially, it means that they conspired to use force to essentially try to overthrow the government or impede certain aspects of governmental procedures, and that's what the jury found here. And it doesn't mean that there was a month-long conspiracy to attack the Capitol. The evidence doesn't support that. It suggests more of a spontaneous decision on the day of, and it doesn't mean that everyone who attacked the Capitol was organized in one conspiracy. But in these discrete cases, in this particular case of the 5 Proud Boy defendants, the jury has found that there was, in fact, a seditious conspiracy, Kate.
All right, Ken Delanian, our Justice and Intelligence correspondent, thanks so much.
Can I make a couple quick points and I'm gonna shut up? One, the white privilege on display with these guys who've been convicted of seditious conspiracy. When have you seen? Okay, basically, here's my question in short: why are we not seeing mug shots of these guys? We're still seeing glamour shots from the day of the event or random things. Like every picture they showed you, none of them was a mugshot. In fact, one of them still got his face covered. Okay, that's a big one for me. Like that upsets me. And then the other thing, how reckless our media is, because they're not taking this thing seriously, right? They're doing this thing, like I said, they're not showing a mugshot. Two, they're sitting there saying dumb stuff like, well, what is the history of them having this? When we've heard this same question asked at every interview, every single interview. It's just so they're literally just trying to make money off of it. They don't care about the country. They don't care about anything. It's just mindless dribble. I don't know. That bothers me.
You have newscast. Where I work, we have CNN on the television.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I feel for you.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers. I had to.
But I know. But here's the deal: you can have a breaking news. Let's use Trump in the boxes. Okay.
And 5 minutes later, breaking news again.
An hour later, and the next hour, and the next hour, and the next hour. So if I go in at 8 o'clock and it happened at 8 o'clock, there's the breaking news. When I leave at 5 o'clock, they're still talking about it. The platform's changed. You know, you'll move from the guy in front of the desk and the picture of Trump on the behind him. Then you'll move to a panel who's sitting around a table discussing it. Then you'll move to a panel sitting at a L-shaped desk talking about it. Then you'll move to, let's bring in our correspondent from Florida to get a latest update, to let's get our correspondent from Washington, D.C. to see what the senators and congressmen are saying. Then we'll move to, let's see if we have any movement from Trump, to, okay, we're back at the desk again talking about it. That literally takes up the 8 hours of that one story. One story can take up 8 hours. All you have to do is change the platform of the delivery. So here's the answer to your question. They don't have anything else. The story is the most happiest thing they have, because all they know is we can write 8-10 hours of this.
I get that, but
don't talk about homelessness or food deserts.
We as consumers, you know, it's like now they are suffering, right? All of them are going through their pains right now. That's why CNN is trying to capitalize on Fox's stumble. So I get that, but it's still just the priorities. I like the way
she did this. Like she's serious. Like I'm supposed to take her serious. Girl, sit down.
Everything's TMZ, man. Everything is TMZ. Mm-hmm. We are like a bunch of elementary school kids. You can't teach us anything unless you entertain us.
8 hours of where they do no real analysis. Although they will tell you, let's bring in our analyst from Florida to discuss what.
Yep, and then they talk about it 5 minutes. Then it's just like the morning news, weather, sports, weather, news, sports, weather, news. Sports. It's why am I?
Oh, are you talking about the morning?
Yes.
Traffic.
Yeah. Oh, forgot traffic.
Traffic, weather, sports,
street, like, and it's basically our fault, and I'm saying as the general America, because we watch this crap. They could cover the toxins that are being spilled in Kalamazoo. I haven't heard anything about that.
Hey, Parker.
And the media sources that we did have, like Vice, bankrupt, going out of business. So the ones, that's proof right there. If you do real journalism and you really go and get the information,
you're not lasting
nobody
long.
wants to see it.
No.
I mean, look at when Trump was president. MSNBC, CNN, well, Fox was already doing. They literally 24 hours, 7 days a week. It was Trump all the time, Trump all the time, Trump all the time. Then when he got defeated, it was like, oh, we don't got nothing to cover. So let's just make up this whole thing about Russiagate and all this other silliness that the FBI has already, Biden's FBI, by the way, has already said is foolishness. But let's just keep building that narrative anyway, because we can't cover the real issues, like why are people in the military being encouraged to go on SNAP and they're serving in the military? No, let's not talk about that.
Or the fact that that's been the case going all the way back into the 60s and 70s.
Exactly.
That active duty military are on government assistance. Or the fact that the only time we trot out veterans and we talk about what about the veterans is when we're talking about somebody else. Or, you know, or when we want to talk about guns, if you want to defend guns, you attack healthcare. And if you want to do healthcare, you attack guns. And you just ping pong back and forth.
Just watch independent media. Although a couple independent media outlets, I'm like, all y'all programming, y'all just repeat the same thing, which I hope they snap out of that, but they haven't so far. So, but watch independent media. Just watch independent. Watch Marlon's platform all the time, because you're not gonna get. Seriously, this is what you're gonna get on the news.
But here's the deal. I can do that because welcome to America. I can do that every weekend. And I know that I'm gonna have fresh news every weekend because, again, welcome to America. We get shit that happens every week. It's very rare in the 3 years I've been on this show, either by myself or with this group, that I repeated a headline the back-to-back weeks. Somebody looking at the title right now can sit there and think, oh, you're talking about Clarence Thomas again. No, I'm literally talking about Clarence Thomas' third allegations. And
see, to me, we shouldn't, shouldn't not the right way. So the independent media space that we operate in, realistically, we should only be relying on that because you need other voices. And you need as many voices as you can. But YouTube should not be where we have to go to get our news.
Absolutely not.
We should be able to rely on.
You get commentary from me. I don't do news. I do commentary.
That's you, but a lot of people get their news
in general
from social media and YouTube. Because CNN, Fox, and them are so terrible. But I'm like, CNN, its original roots, they were the one that you could get news from. They had the best international news team out there.
And now they're just gone. Like, where'd y'all go?
And now they're all garbage, right? The only thing you can go to get like international news and in my opinion, a fair and more accurate view of American politics and goings on, Al Jazeera and BBC. And you got to take them with a grain of salt.
Sure do.
But at least they're going to tell you something that they ain't going to tell you here, right? What we're going to hear about here is who's in love with who and who cheated on who, and so frustrating.
Watch news from as many places around the world as you can.
And the funny thing about it is, it's still an individual thought process. The one thing that I like about independent news, and hate to sound coy when I say this, but I'm being serious, especially Black independence news, because they're the ones who put stories out there that's not good enough for it. MSNBC, CNN, sure as hell ain't gonna be on Fox at all, period, even if it was out there dry. No, because I have the only time that I heard about the Marine veteran that choked the homeless guy on the subway for 15 minutes until he died was Independence Media.
Yep, you didn't hear about it. You didn't hear about it on mainstream media until AOC called out the mayor of New York for not saying anything.
And the only time that it started hitting mainstream media, and the only thing that mainstream media did was to defend the Marine.
Yep.
The former Marine.
Because I'm gonna say that's not where I heard about it. I heard about it. I don't even know where I heard about it, but it wasn't from black media. But no, I'm with you. That's where I heard the name though. The name of the killer.
Yeah.
Right? And that's where you find out the backstory on all of our people who are being murdered in the streets, black media. Because you listen to mainstream media, what you're gonna get is why the person who died was a bad person.
Yep, show his mugshot. Talk about how he was in high school. He smoked some weed when he was 10 years old, and he was always in trouble.
Yep.
He stole candy from the store
Yeah,
at
he
12
stole
years
a
old.
candy bar, and he didn't pay for it. He sold food stamps one time.
He was really tall.
He was selling loose cigarettes. All right, so Eric Garner, he was selling loose cigarettes according to them. Trayvon Martin had crumbs of weed somewhere in the lining of his backpack. Who was it? The young man who was murdered in the Walmart. I can't remember his name all of a sudden, but he was just looking at an air rifle. They just walked in the door and shot him. We all know about Tamir. Oh, it's always they attack the person who's dead because that person
they can't
say
defend
anything
They can't say anything. That's purposeful.
Oh, the one I did a story on 2 weeks ago. Can't remember his name, but he was really tall.
You're talking about the young man, the 16-year-old boy.
The 16-year-old that knocked on the door and the racist guy shot him.
That was
weighed 85 pounds soaking wet.
He was
5'8".
He was really tall.
5'8".
Oh, 5'8".
Yeah. He was husky, 100 and what pounds.
But remember when they killed Mike Brown, they said he was like an Incredible Hulk. See, their bigotry always slides out. It always slides out. That's why I was talking about me going to the police station and asking them, one, I want to go on their turf so that they don't feel threatened.
Right.
And then two, I mean, look, I'm a 40-some-year-old man, but I also know that I'm approximately 6 feet tall. I'm not a small dude, and I'm black. I know y'all might not have noticed, but I'm black. So
what?
If
all this time,
I know all this time y'all thought I was Filipino,
dude.
but y'all was wrong. But
so
when I go in there,
I'm totally shocked. I'm sitting here in shock.
I legit just want to know, what is the proper protocol?
Officer friendly. They're gonna give you the retired, if they even talk to you. They're gonna give you they're gonna give you a black officer say it's really like this, and what you want to do is this. If they even take your appointment,
they probably won't even entertain my conversation.
No, that's what I said. If they even entertain the conversation,
and I don't really want to go in there because I don't want them to check my license plate as I pull off, talking about, all right, well,
you gotta
keep an eye on this one.
I think they will discuss it with you.
No, they won't.
But I'm going exactly with what Tracy said. I agree with everything she said. They gonna go get the first black officer they can find.
First one they can find. I'm like, hey, you go out there and talk to him.
You that if this situation occurred, don't raise your voice, don't move your hands.
Don't move your hands.
Don't move your eyes
but
too
fast. Keep your hands on the steering wheel.
Keep your hands on the steering wheel. Don't reach for anything all of a sudden, and so on and so forth.
But we're here to help you.
Yep.
We're your neighborhood friendly officers that will shoot you if you're black. Allegedly.
Yeah. The thing is, you guys you're just overblowing this thing. I mean, I know accidents happen and bad things happen, but that's not the common occurrence. Wait a minute, you guys were just in the news for killing not one, not two, but 3 different people because you went to the wrong house 3 different times. If you're the police and you go to the wrong house and kill people, what am I supposed to do? It's just crazy. It's just crazy.
I'm just gonna do this real quick.
Bad apples. Okay, I didn't. Oh, we just got a few bad apples.
It's always
No, but you bring up exactly what they do. Is that you have proof, and everybody everywhere has bad apples.
It's not
Yeah,
all
but those
of
bad
us.
apples.
They
But I was
spoil
like,
the whole bunch. You get one bad
and that's
apple in a bag, it's gonna spoil every single apple in that same bag. That's what happens.
exactly, and that's why I have the questions that I have, because I agree that all of y'all, I can't paint all of y'all with one brush. I can't say that all police are one particular way. But the problem is, when I encounter you, I have no training. I'm just a regular guy. And I encounter you, I have to be perfect. But you encounter me, you don't see me. You see all of me. Like every black person and every boogeyman you ever heard in your life. So I'm representative of everybody, but you are not supposed to be representative of every police officer. Square that circle. And then I have to be perfect with my mannerisms, my tone, my deference, all of that. You
but you
can
can't
get
be
scared and
too.
shoot.
But you can't be too uppity though.
And
You
you
can't
definitely
be too uppity. You gotta be respectful, but don't be too uppity.
and you got to
Yeah,
know
don't be
all the
sarcastic
laws,
about it.
and you got to know all the laws. They don't. Police don't have to
Nope.
know all the laws. You do. You have to know every law, every jurisdiction, every
We buy
0.5.
the children Christmas toys from the Goodwill, but we buy the children Christmas toys.
Okay, hold on, y'all. It's time for us to take a break because Mickey's cat, I guess, is walking across the bill. We're gonna go ahead and take our 3-minute break so Mickey can get her cat.